Happy holidays, rich girls. Welcome back to Old Money, the podcast that's here to light up your holiday season like the Rockefeller tree. That's right. Today we are filling your stocking with a luxury inspiration and wrapping up timeless wealth strategies for 2024 so you can stay naughty and nice with your spending. This is our hotly anticipated second holiday episode where I'm diving into the ultimate old money gift guide. Whether you're buying for yourself or someone else, you're going to find some inspiration in today's episode. So you're going to get a peek into some of the most exclusive gifts on my list this year. That's right. Like if I'm buying for you, you need to tune out until after the holidays. By the way, if you're new here, I'm your host, Amber Frankhusen, and welcome to the Old Money family. We are building the trust funds we wish we were born with, so grab your cocoa, get cozy by the fire, and let's slay this holiday gift game. I do have to admit, I am late for a very important date, and that very important date is getting this episode out to you. Like I said, hotly requested. The holidays, December, always pops off. It's typically a slower time in podcast land, but last year, you guys loved the holiday episodes. That's why we're getting a twofer. And also coming up soon is the end of year wrap up, where I'm not only spilling the tea on everything that happened in my life in 2024, but I'm giving you the formula and the outline to follow, the same one that I've followed every year for like 7-8 years now, of looking backwards so that I can quickly move forward. So that's coming up. This one, again, I'm sorry I'm late. I've had the worst cold and laryngitis, meaning I had absolutely no voice. I don't know if you can still hear it. My biggest fear is that somebody puts on this podcast and is like, this woman's voice is unbearable and I cannot listen to it. Sometimes I put on podcasts like that and I can't even listen to the content of the podcast because the voice is so bad. However, I'm giving you my best smelly cat, Phoebe Buffet type of sexy voice for this episode. And I'm going to try to not huff and puff all the way through it. So make sure this year you do not get sick. Take your vitamins, take your minerals, take all the things, get in the sauna, stay healthy. And my biggest tip is if you do not have kids, I do not have kids, stay away from little kids that are sick, because that is how I have gotten sick year after year after year. I love my friends' kids and my goddaughters and our nieces and nephews, but my goodness, I don't know what's going on at the daycares, but it's dirty and I got it. So anyway, back to the holidays. Last episode was kind of also 2 episodes in one. First half of the episode, we really talked about mindset and how to wrap your arms around making this holiday season the season that you want. I think a lot of us get wrapped up in pleasing everyone else and making sure we're doing all the things we're supposed to do without ever checking in with ourselves and what we want to do. I'm not saying this is easy. It's taken me many years in therapy to even be comfortable just saying out loud what I want or what I need. I don't know why that's been such a problem for me, but after a while of exercising that internally and even reflecting, what type of holiday do I want? What type of holiday do I need? And then being able to share that with my partner, my friends, my family, and getting buy-in from them of this is what's going to serve me and make me have the most restorative holiday season or the most celebratory holiday season. And here's how I'd like to share that with you. And maybe that's not like our traditions. Oh my gosh, it's brought me so much freedom. It's just about having a conversation, right? Also setting boundaries and being intentional instead of just drudgery and showing up to where you don't want to go. Being really intentional. I'm all about consciousness, being present, being really tuned in and tapped into what feels good and what's going to give us the life force that we need. Some of us are introverts, that's me included, need a little bit more time at home. Some of us are extroverts and we feel rejuvenated and restored when we're around a lot of people. But for extroverts, that could really be energy draining. And for the extroverted souls among us, if they're at home by themselves on a holiday, they're not going to be doing okay. So really verbalizing what it is that we need from the people in our life during this time that should be about family, friends, celebration, being together. I think it's really important to be able to voice what it is that we want and need. And that's what part 1 of episode 1 of the holiday series is all about. I also get into the holiday vibes with the 6 senses of luxury, which by the way, I have gone so deep into this. I'm writing a full white paper for my business on this theory of the six senses of luxury, because who cares about entertaining others if you're not even entertaining yourself this holiday at home? I'm talking about light the candle, trim the tree, boil all that shit on your stove that's going to make your house smell like a holiday candy factory. I think it is so important that we turn up the romance on our own lives. I want you to be playing Michael Bublé, or I don't know if you're more of like a Trans-Siberia Orchestra girly, whatever makes you feel festive, like lean in. We have to appreciate the time that we're in. This year, for me, has gone so fast. And so really slowing down and doing things that are novel is actually a hack to slow down time. This is for real. So the way that our brains work is that we kind of blend together all the days that feel the same. So we love a routine. We love being in our systems for life of waking up, working out, walking the dog, going to work, coming home, doing yoga, whatever it is. If you do the same thing day after day or week after week, and you have a pretty standard routine, your brain, in order to save processing power, essentially layers all those memories on top of each other. And it kind of feels like one big blended day as opposed to a whole bunch of different ones. When you're doing the same thing all the time, it doesn't make any sense for your brain to remember all the nuances of those days, right? That's why people had so much like time weirdness with COVID, because we were home every single day. We were doing the same thing day in and day out and got into these routines. And there wasn't any novel bookmarks to latch our brains onto to help us understand the passage of time. I think this is most evident when we have milestones, right? Or we go on vacation. You can remember, oh, we went on vacation to Cabo in May for a week. And I remember that we went swimming in the ocean, went snorkeling, went to this bar, did this thing, like all the different things you can remember because they're things that are out of the ordinary. And so your brain has a more distinct memory of something that's novel and unique. So when you're in your own routine at home, if you just continue to do day in, day out, and don't make anything about this holiday season special, it's going to run really quickly through your brain. It's all going to feel like one big day, one memory. And so doing novel experiences will actually really help you get these bookmarks in your brain so you can delineate one week from the next. Oh, last week we went rock climbing. The week before that, we went to the trampoline park. I don't know. I'm just making this up, except we actually did go rock climbing, you guys. Justin and I'd made like a surprise fun date night. I thought they were going to just like strap us to a guy and we'd climb up the wall. And then the educated person that was working at the rock climbing place would hold us up. Oh, no, no, no. We got a full on lesson on like how to tie knots, how to belay, how to put the harness on. And then they just left Justin and I to our own devices. And we rock climbed each other up and down the walls. And I'm not going to admit that I dropped Justin like 3 feet, but he is heavier than I expected. And it was a surprise. It was my first time. Anyway, definitely a novel memory. And it bookmarked for me time in my life. So I encourage you, go back and listen to that episode if you haven't yet on how to bookmark your life so that you feel like you're actually living and there's memories that give you some time awareness and help you delineate one week from the next. Anyway, the second half of the episode, I was unhinged. I was really fired up about the Neiman Marcus fantasy gifts this year from the Christmas book. I found them to be less than desirable. And on the fly, I came up with some old money fantasy gifts. And I don't know what I was on, but listening back, I was like, how did I even think of that in my brain? I don't know. I feel like that would be a good little series to do on TikTok, but I'm just so not a TikTok girly. I don't know. I have such a hard time showing up there. I'm more of a long form, nuanced, let's tease out all the details. And I feel so pressured to get a message across on TikTok in like 60 seconds. And I feel so pressured to like make it go viral. Not that I'm going viral, but old money fantasy gifts, there are some good ideas in there for what I think people actually want in this day and age, things that money can't buy. Because when we talk about the ultra wealthy, the high net worth individuals, the ultra high net worth individuals, that is people with over $30 million of assets, ultra high net worth. High net worth is over $1 million in investable assets or liquid. So that's excluding things like your home equity. These people, especially at the ultra high net worth level, they have the ability to buy anything they want. So what would it be that you could buy for them? And that's where the whole idea of the Neiman Marcus fantasy gifts really come in, because the focus is on curating super unique, or exclusive gifts or trips or experiences the same way that a travel advisor would for you, right? Like they have access to things, tours and people and behind the scenes of a city, whatever it might be. So when I think about Neiman Marcus Fantasy Gift, my number one of always is the Moet and Hennessy mini champagne bottle vending machine. Like I want that in my house, right? That is something you can't just order online. It's very hard to get. You have to get it direct from the distributor. And that's why Neiman Marcus put that in their fantasy book. So they're like, hey, well, engrave your family name on it and then put it in your basement or wherever you might have that in your house. It's silly. It's something that you could buy, but is not readily available. And so this year, when I saw like an antique carriage, no, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in that. And the reality is, if you have the money and the time and the resources to buy anything that you want, you're hard to shop for. And quite frankly, a lot of the old money women that are listening to this podcast episode, whether we're building it, we're new money or old money, we also buy everything we want for ourselves. That's how I feel at the end of each year. So this year I did something different. I did actually make a Christmas list for those close to me in my life of things that I were going to buy. And I just decided to not. And I gave Justin literally links. I said, here, please order these 2 things for me. And I did the same with my mom because it really does take the guesswork out for them and the legwork. But on top of that, we also still do like to buy each other a couple of surprising things. So this episode, the theme is, what are the things that you can buy for those people that are so hard to shop for, the people that already have everything that they want and need? Nobody needs a KitchenAid mixer anymore. So we have to get more creative. And I'm talking about more creative than just another set of pajamas or another candle, because although pajamas are one of the things that I asked for this year, that's right, we'll talk about it. I just want to give something that's a little bit more personalized and special. So this list is curating all of the things that maybe you want to buy for somebody in your life. I know it's getting a little close to Christmas, but I'm pretty sure you can still get shipping on most of these things. Or more importantly, the things you're going to spoil yourself with this year because you deserve it, baby. So let's jump into it. I have a couple of different categories for you. Let's get into my Christmas list this year. So the first category on the list, I'm going to kind of call it home goods. But more importantly, I want you to be turned on to this creator that I'm obsessed with on TikTok. I think her handle is Unnecessary Necessities, or maybe that's just the series that she does. I'm pretty sure she lives in Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, something like that, down in Florida, down in South Florida. And she has the most curated home, but she does a really good job of curating things to look luxury from Amazon. But her whole ethos is all of the things that she buys are unnecessary, but they're like necessary, right? She's very much into the 6 senses of luxury, the touch, the feel, the approach, the way things are lit, the way things smell, the way she takes care of her linens. All of the things about her home are so curated. So I love watching her videos. She does a great job editing too. She's one of my comfort TikTokers. Like I love to watch her stuff. And she really inspired this first piece for me, which is buying somebody. And I know I just said, don't go for the basic, but buying something for somebody that is going to let them live their best life at home, I think is so important. And the first thing on my list is that freaking old money robe. If you registered for the pre-sale for Cash Consciousness, your robe is in the mail coming to you as I'm recording this right now. You're going to freak out. These are the best robes I have ever found in my life. They are thick, they are heavy, they are spa, they are comfy, cozy, hotel. I mean, I'm obsessed with them and they keep me so warm, but they also look so chic. So I love a luxury robe. And this needs to be one that wears really well. Like if you put it in the wash, it's not going to get all nubby and yucky. A robe paired with something really cozy, silk pajamas. This is what I asked for again this year. Silk pajamas from Eberjay. They have washable silk in a long set and a short set. I think they range from like $200 to $300 and something dollars. But I've had a pair of these and they are my absolute favorite because they're silk, they're super breathable, they keep you super, super comfy. And for me, there is nothing more elite than cozy socks, which I get from Aloe on their 30% off sale every Black Friday. I think they do that sale like twice a year and I'm not paying full like $18 to $20 for a pair of socks. I get them when they're on sale. my aloe socks, my silk PJs, and my big fluffy robe, that is the key. Okay. That is 100% the key. But to layer onto it, what I'm loving right now is sending customized bottles of champagne. There's a company that I've been using. It's called Coupe, Coup, kind of like the champagne coupe, the glass that you would buy it out of, right? Coupe champagne is so chic because they have these really incredible matte black bottles with a black label on them, and they're very monochromatic. The label, the bottle, it's a very chic. It's a great display piece. But what I love is that they offer a super unique gifting experience because you can personalize and customize the label. On top of that, they send them in these super heavy duty, like, I don't know, briefcase type of thing. So the presentation is very special. It's very curated, and it definitely feels elevated. But their entry bottle of champagne is just $100. So, and they ship it and they do the whole thing. So I think it's the set, right? It's the idea. It's like, let me give you this whole experience for you to indulge in all of these unnecessary necessities in your home so that you're super cute and cozy in your sanctuary all winter long, whether you're watching Harry Potter movies or just dancing around the kitchen, getting drunk on a bottle of Coupe champagne by yourself. Again, it's COUP champagne. I'm obsessed. Such a good one. Okay. So still in this home category, we're in the kitchen with the champagne. The next thing on my list is a must-have. It's an absolute must-have. It's an espresso machine, but it's not any Nespresso machine. I already told you, everybody already has a KitchenAid and an espresso machine. This is a Goyard Nespresso machine. That's right. There is a company out there that made a customized Goyard Nespresso machine and tray. I'm looking at it right now. It's made by a company called Uprint, and they have crafted this case that goes around a platinum model Nespresso machine, and it has this amazing tray, all with the Goyard canvas and leather on it, featuring slots for the capsules and the cups and the machine and a little tray for your spoons. It's absolutely ridiculous. I will post all of the videos of the things that I found that are so silly, including this one. I'm not saying it's silly, but it is so extra. And I think it's really a fun gift for the Goyard freak in your life because it would definitely bouge up your kitchen situation. Now, what's so funny about this is that I cannot find the price of this anywhere online. And it's also no longer hosted on their Instagram page or on their website. Goyard is super aggressive about any counterfeit product. I've told you the story of the woman in Europe who literally got her fake Goyard taken from her in the store because they are encouraged to confiscate anything that is replicating their brand because of the copyright infringement. And so there is no price anymore, but I can see on this website, they have like a Ferrari, same type of a deal. They have these bespoke coffee boxes. They range in price anywhere from like $1,000 to $8,000 for these huge sets. Obviously, this is not an authorized product from Goyard, so it's kind of funny that it's so bougie, but it's not made by the company. So you're kind of just getting a knockoff. However, it is really something that plays well on social media. So I had to include it on the list. Make sure you check out our Instagram stories today. Again, I'll post all the stuff that I can find. You will want to see this. Okay, the last suggestion for kind of the unnecessary necessities and the things you could buy for the home. I'm a big fan of a flower subscription because it's one of the gifts that keeps on giving. I love to have fresh flowers in the house. And it's one of the things that I really just don't have time to go do because I'm mostly ordering groceries through Amazon Fresh or Instacart or whatever. We're busy over here. So I'm not going to put flowers on my order list because who knows what they're going to bring me, right? So having a flower subscription through something like Books, I think is a really great gift to give so that the flowers keep showing up month after month. I think it's a great way to leave a lasting impression. Okay, my next category here is for the it girl. The it girl in your life, your sister, your cousins, your best friends. What do we need to get them? Well, I have some ideas. They're mostly things that I've bought for myself, if we're being totally honest. But something fun, something cute. First and foremost, we are starting with bag charms. There is no bigger trend in handbag land right now than to adorn your Birkin or Kelly or Louis Vuitton or whatever it is you're carrying with charms. And there are so many great resources out there, but I'm actually loving the independent sellers on Etsy more than anything. In fact, my vibe right now is revitalizing my Louis Vuitton Speedy and getting a custom strap from Etsy, something that totally mismatches, something like canvas, and dolling it up with some charms and bringing it back out into the light in spring again. I think it's time for the Speedy to see the light of day. It's been a few years. The cutest bag charm that I have seen is this amazing Louis Vuitton croissant. It's branded. It's got the cute little monogram on the outside of it. It's a zipper bag. You can attach it to your bag, but it is so cute. And you know, I'm obsessed with croissants because I love anything that has butter, but also because my dog looks like a croissant. This might be something you have to special order with your sales associate or see if they can track it down for you. It was available on the website, but I can't find it offhand. It's the cutest bag charm that you have to add to your collection. Sidebar really quickly, can we talk about, do you guys remember 8 weeks ago when every influencer and their mother got gifted with the new Louis Vuitton Neverfull bag that they revamped, that they did not need to revamp? Do you remember this? One day, every single person was unboxing a gift. Thank you, Louis Vuitton. The Neverfull is back. And it was this reversible Neverfull. So you can flip it inside out. Please, let's stop with that, okay? Like back when I was getting my Delia's catalog and they were trying to be like, it's 2 bags in one. That doesn't mean you can charge more. And by the way, don't flip it inside out. It looks fakaked. I hate it. So this new Louis Vuitton Neverfull, it has the canvas print on one side and then either red or black canvas on the inside. And you're meant to flip it inside or outside, inside out. I don't know how to say that. Flip it back and forth. And then it also has this little pouch that you can, attach to the outside. It's the interior zip pocket that they removed and made its own pouch. I'm not encouraged. I do not find this to be an engineering marvel. Anyway, everybody was getting it, saying the Neverfull is back. And you want to know what we have not seen any of those influencers wear in the last 6 to 8 weeks? Yeah, that Louis Vuitton Neverfull. It is not back. It's still retired. And we need to talk about why. Number one, when I bought my Louis Vuitton Neverfull when I was 21 years old, it was $995. I bought it at Neiman Marcus in Union Square in San Francisco. I went by myself. I bought it. I was so proud of myself. I had saved up forever. And I got my first bag and I wore that bag to death. If you knew me, I don't know, circa 2011 to 2019, you saw me with that bag. All the straps were broken. It was stained. It was patinaed. I went with that bag to the club. That bag went traveling with me. That bag went to work. That bag went absolutely everywhere. I got my use out of it. That's for sure. Now that bag, the new Neverfull with the flip-flop in and out and then the dangly little pouch, it retails for $3,000, the large one, $3,000 for canvas. I don't know what they're trying to do there, but I just don't think the price point hits the way that it used to. And the thing with it is that it's one of the most overproduced replica bags or fakes, just plain fakes. I was literally on the airplane yesterday and standing in the little trolley, or not the trolley, the train that takes you back and forth between the terminals. And I was looking at this woman. She was just so lovely, just an older woman. And she had plastic around the rim of her Neverfull bag instead of the leather. And I'm like, okay, that's a fake. It's so overproduced and it's so overexposed. So because you can't really reel that back in, I think it's one of those decisions you got to cut your losses and be like, okay, this is not going to be a bag that moves the needle for us anymore. Like it's just too out there. It's too accessible. And when things are too accessible, when they lose the prestige, they're not exclusive, they're no longer luxury. Luxury is about exclusivity. Luxury is about something special that not everybody has. Not everybody has a Goyard Nespresso machine, even if it's a knockoff, but everybody has a Neverfull. So I'm back again. I don't even know where I was going with this. Oh yeah, bag charms. I think this is the next step on our way back to maximalism and brands and hyper luxury again. We had this weird little blip in the economy where it was feeling we were going into a recession. Even though the market's ripping right now, Bitcoin's ripping right now, we're seeing that divide be bigger than ever between the haves and have-nots, right? So this ties into fashion because typically in times of economic downturn, what we see on the runways is less sparkle, less glitter, less celebration, less anything, less showiness, right? It's a little bit more austere. Think like original Celine, old Celine, the Phoebe Philo era. It's a little bit less showy and brandy. And I think we're in this middle point right now where we're not really sure where we're going with the economy. And so what we're seeing is a lot more personalization, a lot more people dripping their bags in charms that they're curating on their own. Yeah, you might have a Pegasus from Hermes, but you might also just have a bunch of charms that you collected and curated over time. I'm seeing that with a lot of heirloom jewelry in the trends right now. Like that is a way to show off without being new, right? So it's a little bit more of this curated effort. The charm necklace kind of trend and the bag charm trend, I think, is going to be here all through 2025. So customizing what you already have, I think, is the new move. I do not think that the Neverfull is the bag to get for Christmas, if I'm saying that. However, I do love a bag as a gift, and I'll tell you why. You can never outgrow a bag. It doesn't matter your season of life or how your pants are fitting, a bag will always fit you. And I think that bags also right now, we're going into this new phase of the trends in fashion where slouchy is totally back. Like too structured is a no-no. Like unless it's a mini Kelly, I'm seeing, and mini bags are totally in right now. And I think mini structured bags are in, but there's this slouchy trend, this more relaxed trend that's coming through right now. Like the Bottega sack or even like the Andiamo bag, it's got a little bit of a slouch to it. Think about it like a Birkin that's been worn in, right? It's more about, I've had this for a long time. It's a little bit more relaxed, the slouch. I'm seeing oversized Balenciaga city bags come back into style. And if you knew me again in the early 2000s, there was no bag that I coveted more than a Balenciaga city bag. I just wanted to be an Olsen twin. And now those are rebagging on Fashion File and all these places. I think that's a huge trend if you don't have a problem with Balenciaga. I personally have a problem with Balenciaga. After their rebrand to Saint Laurent, I just kind of think they took some steps back. They're very accessible. Every girl has a YSL clutch or tote, but their hobo bag, that beautiful leather or suede satchel that's very cute, has a little L hook. Do you know what I'm talking about for the closure? I think that is a great it bag for 2025 if you're going to be spoiling the women in your life. Now, if you're going for a nighttime bag, go for something classic. I love a Chanel wallet on chain, but definitely go for something seasonal that's going to have longevity. The seasonal bags that come out every spring, summer, or fall, winter are only available for a short amount of time. They're more coveted, they're more collectible, and they're still going to be classic looking enough that you can wear them with most of your everyday, I would say everyday nighttime wear. But they're a little bit more special. And right now there's one that I'm coveting for fall, winter 25. It's black caviar leather, but it has a larger Chanel emblem on it and it's champagne gold. So it's kind of like brushed instead of shiny. And that is my jam. My engagement ring is brushed gold. I love things that are not super shiny. They're a little bit understated. So fingers crossed I can find her this year. I hope you're ready, Justin, because that's what I'm asking for Christmas. Going on to things that an it girl needs, again, we're going back to the basics and looking at pieces that are going to be able to be worn all of the time. We are done with the Chanel earrings that we used to see. You know what I'm talking about on Real Housewives, where like Teresa Giudice would wear them backwards and it would be like nah shell. Yeah, we're done with that big showy costume jewelry. We're doing bag charms, but we're keeping our jewelry super chic and classic. You guys are going to love to hear from Erica Sett of Beset. She's coming on the show next week to talk to us all about diamonds. I had so many questions for her about natural diamonds versus lab grown. Shelly, if you're listening to this, we've been talking about this for like 2 years. What is the vibe? What are people saying about natural diamonds? I know that a lot of the diamond companies are marketing that natural diamonds are superior. Yet I know a lot of people that are really happily buying lab-grown diamonds, especially for things like tennis bracelets and tennis necklaces, because you can get really high quality diamonds at a much lower cost. So Beset, she does both natural and lab-grown. She is absolutely brilliant with her designs, especially for engagement rings. but she has this stud earring set that is so freaking classic. You can get it in, I think, rose gold, white gold, and regular gold at different carat weights. And the prongs on it are so perfect. They're actually similar to the prongs that I got on my engagement ring, which for me was all about, I don't want to lose this diamond. Like, grasp onto it. I need to hang on to this diamond. But the prongs don't overwhelm the stone. They're very chic and minimal. So I love her stud earrings. And then also, you need to watch her TikToks to go on this tennis bracelet journey with her. She is making like a Moissanite. I'm not sure how to say that. We'll have to ask her. Moissanite tennis bracelet. But tennis bracelets are where it's at. If you follow Morgan Stewart on Instagram, if you don't, you should be immediately. She is the queen of chic. And she has this tennis bracelet that is mixed diamonds. It's like pear diamonds and rough stones. And it is actually the most stunning thing I have ever seen in my entire life. It's one of the best tennis bracelets I think that has ever been created in the history of the world. And I love it because it's classic. It's a tennis bracelet all linked together all the way around the wrist, but it's got these really unique stones. I love that look. I also love a classic tennis bracelet or necklace. The sparkle is what you want to go for. If you are aspiring to go big, I definitely would say reference back to Bronwyn on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and the $4 million necklace that her husband got her, or maybe they just rented, I'm unclear, but got her for the anniversary. That thing looked like something I got from Bauble Bar in 2012, and I would seriously wear it today. I love it so much. So we talked about diamonds, we talked about bags, we talked about bag charms, couple other fun it girl gifts that you can get this year. Get some tights for the girl in your life from Saint Sass. This is not sponsored, but I bought myself a pair of tights that are so chic. They have these cute little in velvet little phrases on the tights, either on the butt or on the leg. Mine says, very appropriately so, "Mom, I am a rich man," the famous Cher quote. But you can get tights that say "a lucky you" as you pull them up. There's some that say "bite me" on the butt. They're so cute. They're black tights with black writing. We all need those and usually go through at least a couple pairs each winter, right? I will say I was very confused by the sizing. I got a size medium, a schmedium, which is normally my size. And when I tell you, I thought that this was a pair of Capezio tights that was for my ballet class when I was 6 years old because they were so little. They ended up fitting with a lot of effort, and I was really stressed out about stretching them. But the way the placement of the "Mom, I am a rich man," I thought it was going to be higher up on my thigh. And it's kind of like down by my knee. I'm just not sure if I'm doing this right. I might have need to get a size up. Like, they fit around the waist, but I feel like they're short. So I would just, for the girl in your life, order a size up and tell her that you don't think she's that big, but you just want to make sure she has enough room to move the message where it needs to be on her body. I think these are a really cute, really fun gift. They're a little pricey. They take a while to ship, FYI, because I think they're coming from overseas, from Europe, but it's super cute. A good way to give something that somebody will definitely use, but infuse a little personality into it as well. And then lastly, I talked about this already, but the PJs from Eberjay. Like, this is the new era of luxury. It's like this super curated, super chic line of pajamas, and you have to get the washable silk. It is so comfortable. They wear really well, and they last a really long time as well. I think that is the go-to. And then I'm always about a themed gift. So pair it with some Loro Piana cashmere socks if you want to go a little upgraded from my aloe sock vibe. But quite frankly, PJ socks and a robe, the girls that got into cash consciousness, oof, you are going to have the best, most coziest new year ever. Okay, next category is for the parents. Now, I am an auntie. I am a cool auntie. I'm the coolest auntie. And I have a theory for the gifts that I like to buy for the young children in my life. Now, Justin, I like his plan. He's a straight money guy. It's going straight into the account. It's going to your college fund. It's going to an investment fund. Every niece and nephew gets a check on birthday and Christmas. I fully endorse that. Again, we're setting our kids up for success as they get older, stashing their bank accounts with a little padding so that they can figure out what to do with it when they become cash conscious. But for the younger ones, or the ones that were looking for more of a, I don't know, a gift that's going to mean something for a while, I've always been kind of fascinated by this whole silver Tiffany's rattle. And the fact that nobody's ever going to use a rattle that's silver with their baby. It's purely for show. It's something you can engrave. You can say it's from Auntie Amber, Auntie, whatever your name is. I think that's great. But it sits on the counter while the kid's a baby. And then it's like, as you get older, like, what do you do with it? It goes away into a safe and you never look at it again. After a while, it's not something that stays out over time. So I was thinking, how can I put my spin on the luxury item that I want my nieces, goddaughters, etc., to have that might get some play and is kind of like the Tiffany rattle, but a little bit more modern. So this is what I've come to. I'm all about the luxury shoes because shoes are a thing that I don't know about you, but my mom kept my ballet slippers when I was little and they're in like a shadow box now. And I think it's one of those things that you'll keep of your kids for a really long time. And I'll give you an example. When my best friend Charlotte had her first little girl, I just knew in my heart and soul and mind and body and spirit that she was going to have a second little girl. I just knew it. Like there was no question. Charlotte was going to be a girl mom. I just knew it. So I bought her first daughter a pair of Gucci sandals that are so cute. And I bought them in the smallest size they had, but it still took her like a year to grow into being able to wear them. And then I know that they'll get passed down to the little sister as well and be like a cute little memento that they have forever because Charlotte hardly ever lets them wear them and only for special occasions. So for me, I'm looking for something that's like cool and unique and different that's in that luxury space, but still accessible. Like maybe they can play with it, wear it a little bit. It can last a little bit longer. And then it will still be a keepsake that you look back onto lovingly of like, oh my goodness, remember when your feet were this small? So that's kind of my vibe. If you have, however, somebody in your life who's expecting or maybe has a baby, I have the best gift idea for you ever. There is, and yes, I will post the video of it online if I can find it, a Loro Piana stroller. It is currently only available for pre-sale in Harrods in London. But when I tell you this is the most quiet luxury, amazing stroller I've ever seen in my life. It's with a company called Inglesia or something like that. Inglesina, I think that's what it is. And it is the most beautifully anointed stroller that I have ever seen. First of all, it has this cognac leather handle and cognac leather trim. It's got this beautiful linen fabric with the suitcase stripe motif. It is so beautiful. According to the advertisement here, it's lightweight and practical and compact. I don't really know because this seems like style over function to me. And I know that function is the most important thing when you're dealing with a small child in a stroller, but it also has a matching changing bag and it just is the chicest thing I've ever seen. So again, right now it's only available for pre-order. And according to the website, it's only available in Europe, the Middle East, and China. So you're going to have to get a friend with a mailing address in one of those places so that you can place your order for the chicest old money, quiet luxury stroller that ever did exist. The next thing that I have to say is we can't forget about the dog parents on our list, the pet parents. And if you are looking for a gift for the dog lover in your life, you have to get what Poppy has from Le Dog. Le Dog was a sponsor of Old Money. I'm obsessed with this brand. Founded by one of our rich girls, Kristen, who's from Canada. Everything's made in Canada, designed by her, and it's all made with real, genuine leather. So we have this long line leash, which is so great because I like wrap it around my body and walk with Poppy, and it's so much easier for me when she's like sniffing and then she just kind of like follows me along. I love it. She has the collar. She has the Le Poop bag where you put the little poopy bags in and it all matches and it's in this like cognac leather. And when I tell you Poppy looks so good in cognac leather, it's amazing. And then we also have the Le Mat, which is part of her Le Bed collection. And these are genuine leather mats that number one, stay clean in your house. Like they look good and they're easy to clean. They stay really cool. They have like Tempur-Pedic mattresses in there for your dog. So that is my pick for the pet parents in your life. Like buy something elevated. Don't get another toy that's going to get ripped up into shreds. Buy something that's going to last, because that's what quality and old money shopping is all about. Like, let me get something that I can invest in. Poppy wears her leash every single day and it still looks absolutely brand new. So for the expecting parents, the parents to be, the parents that are, the parents that are dogs, the parents that are parents of dogs, you know what I'm trying to say? Those are my hot takes for gifts for this year. And now the next category, we're truly getting back into what can I buy the person that has everything, that could buy anything. We're getting them something to do, an experience they can't forget. And typically it's great if you can buy an experience that you can do along with someone. Number one, you're having that novel experience. You're going to create a bookmark in your memory so that you have more memories to kind of look back on, but you're also doing something that is unique and fun and different, that challenges you to think and experience life in a new way. I am telling you, I have not been a beginner in something for so long, and going to that rock climbing class with Justin and us being we had no context, not a single clue. Neither of us had never done this before. And we had no idea what was going on. And we learned something new together. It turned on this part of my brain that I haven't turned on in such a long time. And it was actually invigorating. And because we were doing it together, it was kind of a bonding moment for us. We achieved something together. We learned something together. I'm big on that. And I think that one of the groups of people that does experiences really well are the Real Housewives. Now, I'm not talking about taking a trip to Dorinda's in the Berkshires for Christmas, but they're always doing random stuff like ATVing or ropes courses or whatever. Don't do that. I don't think that's a great gift. That's more of like a corporate leadership situation. But what I'm looking at are things that are going to be super, super memorable for you to do something together. So what I love about doing something together would be that learning, that overcoming. Obviously, events are a huge yes for me, like buying concert tickets, going to something like a sporting event, that's really important, but you're a passive spectator then. So it's a little bit different than actually doing an experiential thing, like going to, I don't know, the Panera Museum, not the Panera. Oh my God, that's the bread company. The Panerai Museum, that's the watch company in Florence, was a tip from my friend Jennifer. Justin loves watches. So we went into this tiny little museum in this little square. It was so bizarre, but it was a passive experience. It was still novel. And we laughed because there was this weird like wax statue of Mr. Panerai, not Mr. Panera, my bad. Mr. Panerai in this little amazing museum that's secret and you have to ask in order to be let in, all the things, but you're still a passive participant. So for events, I do love a concert ticket. We went to the Candlelight concert in San Diego recently, where we went to listen to an orchestra play covers of Queen songs. I'm a huge Queen fan, and it's all lit up all by candlelight. So there's no natural light there, or there's no overhead light, I guess I should say. So it's super romantic and fun, and everybody there is a fan of the band that they're covering. We have also tickets to the theater, or in San Diego, we have the Rady Shell. You can go see an amazing show there. If you're into festivals, EDM, I highly recommend the Palm Tree Festival. This is the festival that's put on by Kygo. And we went to it in Dana Point at Doheny State Beach. And it was actually such a fun show. Not the best venue. It's a little grimy, but we saw Ellie Goulding and Kygo and a couple other people. It was just so much fun. And he travels around to Aspen, Hawaii, the Hamptons, all these different places. So that's one I would definitely look into. And then again, going back to sports tickets, if you or your partner are a sports fan, like make it a whole trip, make it a thing, go to the game, go to the away game, make it fun. However, back to experiences and things that I think are fun to do together, I am all about a knife skills class. This is kind of different from your typical cooking class because it's something that you're going to really walk away with, learning a lot of different skills to enhance your quality of dining experience at home. You can do these at like Sur La Table. You can also do a whole bunch of different cooking classes there, baking classes, things like that. I also love a wine club, not just a wine tasting, but a wine learning where you're going and you're learning about wine, you're trying different wine, you're getting educated on them. I think that's something that's a little bit more unique that you can take away. And then one of my new clients, her name is Andrea. She's the owner of the Bohemian Bee. She is a master beekeeper in Julian, California. And she's introduced me to this thing called apitourism, which is bee tourism. I never thought about this before in my life, but if you are into anything culinary, you're into nature, outdoors, she does in Julian, California, these amazing hive tours and honey tastings. If you've ever been to Julian in San Diego area, you know that that's where they have the pie, right? And one of the most famous pie places is Mom's Pies. And actually, she has a bunch of hives that she keeps back there to keep all of the flowers in nature blooming. All of the fruit that they use for the pies, it's all tended to by her bees. So it's super unique. And then you do a honey tasting and charcuterie tasting afterwards. So you learn something, you see something super new and novel, and you also get to have a little bit of a culinary experience. So I'm all for that as a super unique gift. Okay, also in the experiences category is travel. And I love, this is hard to do as a gift because you need to know people's schedules and things like that. But Justin actually came up with such a fire idea for a couple of friends of ours that are a couple for their wedding gift of giving them a certificate to a boutique hotel that we know they've never been to, that we love for at least 2 nights so that they can go on a time that suits them. But it's still like an us flavored gift because it's the place that we love to go to and we want to share that experience with them, not travel with them, but let them go on their own when it works for them. But a couple other really great things that are available right now. You know that I've made a transition in my life from a Marriott Bonvoy points girly to a Hyatt points girly. And really exciting news is that the company Under Canvas is now within Hyatt. So you can book using your points a trip to do an Under Canvas experience. And what is Under Canvas? It's basically the best glamping situation you have ever seen in your life. They have them all over the US, Mount Rushmore, Moab, Grand Canyon, Glacier, Great Smoky Mountains, Zion, Yosemite, Yellowstone, all these different places. And the tents are sickening. They're like these amazing tents all under the stars, and it's super remote. So it really has this like adventure vibe, but there's a full-on bathroom like within the tent and like some makeshift walls and things. It's a large tent. It's giving Arabian Nights type of a thing. They have kids tents, safari tents, deluxe tents, stargazer tents, and suites. So they are really comfortable. They can sleep up to 4 people. They have king-size beds, like a lounge area, a wood-burning stove with stocked firewood. So it's basically the most cush, plush camping experience that you've ever seen. And then they have all of this camp programming. So you can do guided hikes, you can do yoga, they have campfires with s'mores, you do a scavenger hunt or outdoor games or movie night. They just have it all programmed for you. So everything that you do is right there, but it's very rustic, like out in the land. The tents are, I think, what really gets it for me because I want to be comfortable. I want to be warm. And then you have the programming. So everything's done for you. You just kind of show up and do the activities. And then they have amazing culinary experiences as well. So every place has a different type of culinary situation where you can do like casual counter service where you're kind of like at a picnic table, but then they also do these curated chef events that are all at these places. So I think this is an amazing gift if you are outdoorsy, but not really. I think it's also great that you can use your points to go do it as well. I think it's a great vacation. Another outdoorsy type vacation that you could look into is like tiny vacation rentals. The getaway tiny vacation rentals is one that I've found that's super cute to go out into the wilderness, have a tiny home, and then spend your time touching grass, reconnecting with nature, and getting away from screens. In addition to travel, if you're not an outdoorsy type of person, you're more of a fully programmed dress up type of person, you can always do a trip to, wherever, Vegas, Dallas, Chicago, New York. But here's what I think makes a trip like that really special. Instead of just saying to somebody, okay, we're going to go on a trip to Vegas and you pick the date and I'll pay for it, whatever, it's just a weekend in Vegas, but like make it memorable. These are the bookmark novel experiences. Like I've gone to Vegas with Justin, stayed at the same hotel a dozen times, but there's always something weird or different that happens at each of the times we go that kind of delineates it in our mind, whether it's the people we're traveling with or what we're there for, the time of year, whatever. But I think it would be super fun if you did a themed trip. Like, for example, if you went to Las Vegas and you went to go to all of the speakeasies in all of Las Vegas, and that was your mission. Like, we're going to go check out every speakeasy. You're going to do the research. You're going to have the plan. You're going to know where to go. Or maybe you go to Orange County, For this recommendation, I recommend you find a friend that's as Bravo obsessed as I am, but couldn't you do such a cute trip to like Corona del Mar, Newport Coast, and go to all the places that they go to in the Real Housewives of Orange County? You can go to the Balboa Bay Club, you can go to the Quiet Woman. I've even driven past Kelly Dodd's house at the beach, her old house. I know that's very weird, but I think if you have something that's themed and fun and it's super memorable and it's in alignment with what this person's interests are, I think you can make a really fun, really unique trip. That's a great gift. The next category I want to talk about is feeling like $1,000,000. This is the rich girl beauty routine. I think that beauty and health are intertwined, and there is no greater gift than you can give than health or optimization. So this is also touching on Kayla Milligan, who wrote me on Instagram and was like, what's the best beauty investment that I can make? This is where I would start. You're not going to believe my first recommendation, but it's actually something you can buy for at home. I'm telling you, my skin has never looked so good. I'm doing a red light mask. I got the one from Hooga, Hooga. I think I paid 120 or 150 bucks for it. Red light is proven to heal your scars, to help with cell turnover, to produce collagen and elastin. And it's honestly really, really helped my discoloration and the redness in my skin. I've been wearing it for 20 minutes every night, and I can actually literally seriously tell a difference. I cannot wait to go to my dermatologist and be like, aren't I glowing? I think I'm glowing. I really do. And what I like about the Hooga mask, number one, the price point. But number two, it has these little like eye things that go on. I don't know, they're like kind of goggles. So it blocks out the red light from your eyes so that you can see out of the mask while you're wearing it, as opposed to being totally just like stuck there and blinded by the red light. Red light is also really good for your eye health, but that way I can wear it and still watch Housewives or still look at my phone or do whatever I'm doing. So Hooga, my red light mask, I love it. I think it's really helping my skin. I know that red light is proven to work for skin healing and optimization. So that for me is one of the best investments you can make. I think it's a great gift as well. In addition to that, if you are just looking for your skincare routine, I know I'm going to be a broken record, but let this be the year that you invest in some really good sunscreen that's tinted. I'm using Color Science. It's literally all I use on my face every single day. It's tinted. It has SPF 50, I think. And it honestly makes such a big difference if you wear sunscreen consistently over time. This is the thing. It's not a immediate gratification type of a thing. It's not like an exfoliation situation where you feel all baby smooth afterwards. You have to wear the sunscreen all the time to see over time that as you heal your skin through peels or red light masks or lasers, that you don't get the discoloration added back in because you're not wearing the sunscreen. I've been super focused on sunscreen this year. It's all I'm wearing for face makeup during the day. And I'm telling you, it's made such a big difference in my skin. I think there are great skincare companies out there. There are tons of options. It's hard to know what's right for you, but it's also hard to make a recommendation over a podcast because everybody's skin is so different. So I think the best gift you can give yourself is a visit to the derm. Not only can you get a curated skincare regimen, I go for something that's very simple, just like a cleanser, a serum, a moisturizer. That's what I like. Very, very simple. But go and talk to your dermatologist about lasers. Kayla, this is for you. There is no better treatment that you can get for your skin. There's no better investment that you can make than lasers. I really think we see age in the quality of our skin before we are looking at wrinkles and things. Like you can have movement and wrinkles when you're 20, right? If you have like, crow's feet when you smile or whatever that is. I think knocking out all of that movement is over. I want to see some movement in my face. I want to have some expression, but I want my skin to look really glowy and healthy. And regenerating your skin through lasers, whether it's a BBL or an IPL or a Clear and Brilliant, everybody's skin's a little bit different. So I had these really gnarly veins under my eyes and they were impossible. I'm telling you, there was no concealer that would cover them. They were just blue veins right under my eyes. And I got them lasered away with an Excel V laser. Literally, I don't wear any concealer under my eyes anymore. And wearing all that concealer was really cakey and it made me look older. So when you're trying to cover up blemishes, discoloration on your skin, it actually can make you look a little bit more aged. And I think that having really healthy, vibrant skin is such a youthful look. I love it. And actually lasers are one of the best ways to regenerate that. So it's, laser is intense pulse light or broadband light or whatever it is. Again, everybody's going to get different recommendation from their dermatologist, but I think that's one of the best investments that you can make in your skin long term. And then also, while we're on the process of health and beauty, your skin is your largest organ. So you need to take really good care of it, right? But as we take a look at the fast paced life that we have, all the things that are going on, and the ways that we're all trying to optimize, there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of marketing that's all pumping us on Instagram ads that, this is the hair growth supplement you need. You need to be taking colostrum. Should you be taking collagen? Should you be taking this Kourtney Kardashian Lemmy gummy that says GLP-1 on it, doesn't have GLP-1 in it. Everything's super misleading. And I just don't think it's a good investment for us to just keep trying to buy supplements, get a new supplement stack every single month and try to figure out what's making the difference, because probably nothing is. There's so much filler and so much of the stuff that we have. And what I think is a better investment for yourself or as a gift is giving somebody a blood panel. Going to a naturopathic doctor. I have a great one in San Diego. If you want the recommendation, DM me and I'll connect you. Getting an actual blood panel and getting a doctor to review it is going to help you make better decisions on what you need to optimize your health in a super customizable way that's actually going to make a difference. There's a huge conversation about health span versus lifespan. You can live to be 105, but if you are not mobile, if you are not with it, if you are not thinking clearly, that's actually not a quality of life that we want to pursue. We want to pursue a long health span. And that means making sure that we're up on our vitamins and minerals, that we're attacking any potential problems before they become too big. And you can't do that by guessing on Instagram ads. You really need to get the data from your own body so you know what you need to work on and what needs to be optimized. The next category that we're talking about is another thing that wealthy people who can buy anything they want can't get enough of. It's the most valuable asset that they have, and it is time. Time is money. And the true value of time is immeasurable because it is the one thing we cannot get back. I love this quote by Greg McKeown. It says, true wealth is not about owning a lot of things. It's about owning your time. So a good reflection on our holiday as we go back to part 1 of episode 1 of the holiday season. How do you own your time? Do you establish boundaries? Are you outsourcing things that cost you more energy than you want to spend on them? And when I talk about buying time, what I'm really looking at here is giving people convenience back or having things done for them that maybe they don't want to do. So for me, the number one gift that I would want to get to buy back my time is a blowout. Going to the salon for an hour a week and having my hair done for 7 days, washed well, styled well, and lasting well, it's going to save me not just the time for me to style it on my own at home. I'm going to get a better quality style that's going to last me the entire week. That's going to be better protected. It's going to have a little bit more volume, and I can do work while I'm doing it. So for me, that's huge. Another one is travel. If you can get a driver or even get somebody on a JSX flight where they don't have to waste so much time in the airport through security, and you can gift them something like private or semi-private travel, or even like a housekeeper. If you can give somebody, and this is what I'm talking about, like these gifts are not just for the wealthiest people in your life. It's a good gift for anyone. Like if you can give someone back time, I think that's a huge gift so that they can do things that create more value for them. Maybe it's even giving people meals that are pre-cooked so that they can spend more time with their family or spend more time playing with the kids, especially during the holidays. That's why I think the housekeeper is such a good one. Like get your house cleaned for the new year. I think that's a really thoughtful gift for somebody who doesn't always have a housekeeper. If you have a housekeeper, can you send your housekeeper over to that person's house? Great gift for new moms, by the way. You're just buying people time with the things and the people and the endeavors that they really, really love. So when we have freedom and flexibility to choose our schedules and our work and the people that we spend time with, like to me, that is the most precious and valuable resource. So when you know somebody and you're paying attention to things that are a struggle for them, whether it's housekeeping or washing their hair or whatever it might be, if you can find a way to buy back time and not just give it to them of like, hey, I'm sending my housekeeper to your house, but hey, I see you working really hard and I want to gift you with a couple of hours of time back so that you can relax. You can get into your old money robe. You can take a bubble bath after your housekeepers are gone. Like you deserve that. I think that is an invaluable gift. And the last section, which is very important to talk about, is philanthropy. You know that quote, if you have more to give, create a longer table, not a taller fence. I'm big on this. And I think that end of year contributions are a great way to gift, especially clients or people in your life, to charities or organizations that you care a lot about. Now, I'm kind of as something happens donation type person, and I'm a chow chow donation type person. I know that, I have a chow chow. Chow chows have a really bad reputation. They often get returned and they have a very high euthanization rate because they have a very finicky personality that is not like a regular dog. People think they should just be teddy bears that want to be hugged all the time, but they often get chow chows and the chow chows aren't assimilated into the family and they can act out of fear and be aggressive. And so they have a really hard time getting homed and they also have very specific needs. So it's a cause that's very close to my heart. So I donate to quite a few, quite a few different chow chow rescues to give them funds for housing these rescues and giving resources to fosters. That's something that's really important to me because my chow chow has changed my life. And I think with the right environment, the right family, the right household, a chow chow could change yours too. So that's my regular contribution. In addition to Feeding San Diego, which is a regular contribution that I make, it's an organization that I got involved in through Feeding America, through Tony Robbins. I was introduced to it then. They do great work. And so that's something that I really love to give to. But overall, as we talk about where to give money and why to give money, a couple of things I want to call out. Number one, if you own a company and you do a sponsorship, this is not tax advice, but I've heard that if you do sponsorships or donations in exchange for awareness of your company, that can be a marketing expense that you can write off. So that's a huge benefit. Also, I have done client gifts with donations to specific interest groups. But more importantly, giving back is just a core tenet of the old money mindset because it goes to more than what's in your bank account. We're talking now about the values of legacy, of responsibility, and long-term impact. Like, I think that wealth is not just a means for personal comfort, but it's a tool to create things. With my money, invest in assets, invest in real estate, invest in businesses, invest in other people, and also invest in my community. So when you can give money back into your community, it's actually a tool to create lasting influence within the community. Now, at our scale, if you're listening to this podcast, it might be unlikely that you're donating a wing to the college campus that you went to, but maybe there will be the Evenson School of Business in the future, right? I would love to give that back to San Diego State University. We see that in San Diego, like the Jacobs is a very philanthropic group or family rather. They own like the Rancho Valencia Hotel. They have the Joan and Irwin Jacobs Theater, they've done a ton. There's the Rady group, like they've done a ton in the community. And I think what's really interesting about that is we start to associate like Rady's Children's Hospital with the Children's Hospital, but that is made possible by the donations of families that want to leave a legacy and improve their community. I think that philanthropy and community support is not just charity. It's not just doing it for the sake of doing it. Yes, when you are a regular donor, you get invited to great parties and galas and events and whatever networking and fundraising things happen. But it also reinforces a sense of purpose in ourselves. Like, what are we doing this for? I think that, we look at old money from a really holistic standpoint and what wealth means. We talk about financial wealth, time wealth, relationship wealth, and purpose wealth, impact wealth. And I think that's really where we go back to what matters to you. And when you are deploying your resources, it really acknowledges that when you are doing good for yourself, the goodness of your heart will have a ripple effect that extends that wealth to everyone else. I talk about this with legacy and generational impact, right? Like if you heal your money stories and your limiting beliefs and work on yourself and your money mindset, you're going to teach your kids to have a healthier money mindset than maybe you had growing up. Maybe they'll struggle less with debt or money or scarcity or whatever it is that you struggled with because you healed that. That's legacy, that's impact, that extends wealth beyond what's in your bank account. It's the same thing in your community. I just believe it really reinforces the ethos of what it is we're doing here and the belief that I hold that the more money I make, the better off the world is. I think the more money women make, the better off the world is. I want to leave an enduring legacy, and maybe my name will be on, I don't know, a stone at the Midway Museum. Thanks to my mother-in-law for buying us a brick at the Midway Museum that's going in San Diego. Maybe it'll be in Balboa Park. Justin's aunt was really influential in saving and revitalizing Balboa Park, and there's a plaque dedicated to her in the park. Like, we always go by it when we walk past and like say hello to it. It's pretty incredible to have that enduring legacy. And I don't know, maybe one day there will be an Amber Evenson Chow Chow rescue of San Diego. If we're dreaming really big, that's all I really want. But maybe there won't be my name on any brick anywhere. Maybe it'll just be some checks that I send or some deposits that I send when there's a tragedy like the floods in North Carolina this year or South Florida. Maybe there's something that touches my heart that's different next year than was this year. I don't know. But I really believe that extending my wealth to others who need it or could really benefit from it does more for my soul than it does sitting in my bank account. So as you're looking at gifting this year, whether it's gifting somebody who has everything or somebody that has nothing, or you're gifting yourself, I hope that this episode puts you in a holiday mood. It's definitely put me in the mode for shopping. That's for sure. I'm just so grateful. Oh my gosh, I'm ending this. You guys, I'm recording on December 11th and it's 1:11 p.m. right as I'm ending this. I'm so sorry this episode's late. Thanks for sticking around with me. I love you so much. My holiday wishes have all come true. I cannot wait to go into 2025 with you all. I love you so much. I hope you have an amazing holiday season. Next week, we have an amazing episode with Erica Sett of Beset NYC talking all about diamonds. And then after that, we have our annual end of year wrap up, looking back to springboard forward, quantum leap into your 2025. Love you so, so much. And I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye. Feeling rich? I hope so. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Old Money. If you have questions you want answered, email me at oldmoneypodcast@gmail.com or hit us up on social. We are at Old Money Podcast and I am at your service. If this episode spoke to you, inspired you, helped you, if you took a single note, it would mean the world to me if you could please just take a minute to rate and review the podcast. And if you're not doing so already, subscribe. And if you have friends who like getting rich, please share this episode with them, even if it's just on your Instagram story. And I'd love you more than Jeff Bezos loves Amazon Prime. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you on the next episode. Remember, I'm not your lawyer, I'm not your tax professional, and I'm not your financial advisor. The content presented in this podcast is intended to entertain, educate, inspire, and support listeners in their personal and professional development and does not constitute business, financial, or legal advice. In addition to that, this episode may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products and services.